Police fired tear gas and water cannon at protesters while demonstrators threw rocks. CNN's Ivan Watson is in Istanbul for us, another city here just gripped by protests. And Ivan, just beginning with the fact that, Turkey is an important U.S. ally in the Muslim world. Has Turkey ever seen anything like this?
Carol, let me interrupt. No, it hasn't. This is another one of those days where we've never seen anything like this before in the city. And right now, there's a police helicopter circling over this square where the demonstrators have gathered. We're going to try to show you. It's shining a spotlight on the park where the protest first began, and the crowd of thousands, if not tens of thousands, has erupted into a giant boo and jeer, hissing the police helicopter that is circling and shining the spotlight on the crowd. It goes almost without saying that so much of the anger has been generated here in Turkey against the riot police, who have been firing tear gas and water cannons and pepper spray at unarmed demonstrators for a week now. Within the last hour, there was a cloud of tear gas that actually came over this crowd of people out here, sending thousands of people running. I saw parents dragging their children, running, very afraid. We're trying to show you right now the police helicopter that is shining its spotlight into this park that had, I would estimate, more than 10,000 people in it when we were there about 2 hours ago in daylight. That's the park where this protest first erupted with about 40, 50 people last Monday, 7 days ago, and the police brutality and the rhetoric of the Turkish Prime Minister is what has triggered unprecedented street protests and violence.
We're not gonna take it.
Ally of the U.S. and the NATO military alliance, and one of the U.S.'s closest allies in the Middle East. Carol.
Ivan, it's Brooke. Let me, though, ask you this, as we're looking at pictures, and this, of course, is reminiscent, as we covered, no worries, as we covered, what happened in Libya and what happened in Egypt, but Erdogan is in such a different category than the Muammar Gaddafis of the world.
Get the fuck out of here.
Assessment to call this a possible Turkish spring.
Some people are calling it that, and some people very much bristle at that. They don't want to be compared to the dictatorships and the despots.
He's worse than them cocksuckers.
It's not an Arab country. It speaks a different language. It's an entirely different ethnic group. And yes, Erdogan has won elections. He is democratically elected. The frustrations that we're hearing
he's democratically elected.
He seems to be taking away some democratic freedoms that Turks have enjoyed. Freedoms, in some cases, that he opened up during his 10 years in power. And one of the complaints here is that these people, many of them say, we didn't vote for Erdogan, and he seems to be persecuting us because we didn't vote for him. He should represent not only his base, which
whole country
consists of conservative, more pious Muslims, but also urban, cosmopolitan, more secular Turks, like the crowds we see here in Istanbul. And I have to say, the police helicopter is still circling overhead, and now we see a cloud of smoke over the park. I'm sorry we can't show it to you with our camera right now, but again, within the last 2 hours, there was tear gas over this crowd, and the only people who have had tear gas are the Turkish security forces themselves, who have used it so much, Brooke, that I've had to, on multiple occasions, wear my gas mask indoors in this very office.
Jesus, even indoors he has to wear his mask.
I could see we were pushing into the crowds over your shoulder. It's 20 minutes till 10 o'clock your time, Ivan. How large are those crowds behind you? Are we talking hundreds?
It's difficult for me to estimate from a distance like this, but certainly the main part of the square that hasn't become part of a construction site is packed full, and the park that triggered this is also packed full. It's important to note, this is not just Istanbul, and it's not just this square. When you walk through neighborhoods outside of here, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I've never seen this before living in the city, there will be housewives out banging pots and pans in protest against the government. And these protests have erupted in more than 30 other provinces of Turkey's 81 provinces within the last 4 days. Right.
Ivan Watson, we'll keep watching this with you as it is a huge, huge story that we're covering in Istanbul. As you
Thank
point
you,
out, and
CNN.
surrounding neighborhoods. Ivan, thank you. In Chicago, it is a way of life for some